Painted Shield is a side project of Stone Gossard of the seminal Northwest bands Green River, Mother Love Bone, and Pearl Jam, and singer-songwriter Mason Jennings. I caught up with these two prolific artists to talk about their new record and what it's like to collaborate when you're not in the same room. One note, Stone's internet connection was a little bit glitchy, so at times you'll hear him, but what you'll see is a still photo. Squeak, squeak.
Well, Mason and Stone, it is great to see the both of you.
Good to see you.
We're happy to be here.
And congratulations on your upcoming release, right? The debut album from Painted Shield, which consists of the two of you, drummer Matt Chamberlain and keyboardist Brittany Davis. This is a big deal.
Thank you.
Now, the two of you were introduced by a mutual friend I know. So tell me, what was it about each other that made collaboration appealing? Who wants to take that one?
I was very excited to work with Stone. I mean, I've been a fan of Pearl Jam since I was a teenager, so it was very exciting. And then also, my friend Dan, who introduced us, was saying, I think you're going to like Stone because he works hard all the time. He's always creative. He's creative in all his aspects. And he seems like a kindred spirit to you in that way. Also, he seems to be much more interested in making art rather than the fame part of it or like anything that comes with that. So that appealed to me right away. And then I found immediately that he was just so easy to work with, and just he would like say he was going to do something, and then he's like, I'll send you something. Then he would send it. Then I'd send him something. He'd say, I'd listen to it. He would listen to it. It's like it's so rare in the music industry that those basic things were happening. So it was so super fun.
That's so great. How about you, Stone?
That's a little bit of a low bar, which is kind of funny because but it's so true. Like if you're like working with somebody and you're bouncing ideas back and forth and you're responding to those ideas and you're sort of evolving ideas together, that's pretty special when you can kind of start collaborating and you see fruitful things happen from a back and forth that occurs. And we got some of that and a lot of it recently as we were finishing the record. We really dug in and pulled it apart again and did a lot of sort of deconstruction, and at each phase that we sort of agreed about how we were going to do it or what we were going to do, it improved. So that's a really thing when a collaboration is fruitful as opposed to just being difficult.
Right. There is something so nice too. You said, Mason, when someone says they're going to do something and they do it,
I know.
I find that to be thrilling.
I mean, and then it's also the stuff he was sending, I really love too. Of course, that's just like a given. But
yeah. Well, so Mason, what was it like for you to go primarily from working with your voice and acoustic instruments to this bigger, more electric sound of Painted Shield?
Exciting for me, and it was definitely like I had to be brave about it because at the beginning I felt pretty intimidated by it. I was talking to Stone about it. I'm like, I'm afraid that my voice is going to get lost. Like I always just felt my voice had like, if it was a piece of furniture, it would have beveled edges rather than sharp edges. And I always, pictured people like Robert Plant or Jack White to have these sharp edges that sit well with electric instruments. And he was like, no, man, like, he's like, you're cutting through, you can hear it really good. And a lot of that's about the mix, So I just trusted him and just sang from my heart. And sure enough, like in the mix, like they could do magic. Like you can hear me.
My life, it didn't quite turn out the way I always dreamed about. My pockets never filled with gold. My story has remained untold.
What was the process for writing the lyrics?
I would listen to stuff in my car. Like I have this loud car stereo with subwoofers and stuff, and I would just crank it and listen to it and drive around or put it on my headphones a lot. And then slowly I would just start to, hear stuff.
Long dreams, I made mistakes but never learned a lesson.
Which is different for me. Usually I have an instrument on, or I'd be playing a piano or having something. It's more like it would be more sort of internal. Like I kind of go into a little zone, but this was more like looking out, cranking something. And yeah, it was coming from a slightly different place, which was fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Painted Shield songs I have heard feature lots of some distorted fuzzy guitar, which I love. but there's also plenty of intricate, subtler sounds in the mix. So who comes up with the arrangements?
Well, I did a lot of the arranging, at least initially, and then, after that, we all played a role. John Congleton, who's the guy that mixed it, he really came in and did a lot of work on the record.
My mama says there's no time machine.
We invited John to say, this is what we've been working on for 6 years. We can't hear it at all. We have no idea we like it, but it's, but what do you hear and what would you change, and be aggressive with your intuition.
Years spent searching to break my heart.
So the song 10 Years From Now has kind of this upbeat, jangly 60s vibe. But I understand, Mason, I think that you originally conceived of it as more kind of screaming vocals. So tell me a little bit about the evolution of that for you.
Yeah, the original track it was the guitar part. Stone's guitar part was like, he sent it to me it was pretty distorted, and it had like electronic drum beat under it. It sounded kind of like Nine Inch Nails. And then I started doing a scream track and a whisper track and all this distorted vocals, and it was cool. Like, I thought it was pretty cool, but it was just kind of like it just like Stone was saying, it was like more one dimensional than some of the other songs. So then we kind of took a break from it, and he was just like, maybe have it be the same singer, the same narrator, who was basically screaming about this injustice, and then be like, what about in 10 years? How's he going to feel in 10 years? Kind of zoom out.
10 years from now, I hope that we're 10 times stronger.
I think the thing that made it sound 60s is Matt Chamberlain came in. He was like, how about this kind of drums? And it was like this Ringo. He's like, this is exactly the kit that Ringo played, and I'm going to play it. And we're like, holy shit, it was amazing.
Silly, silly little sheep. Don't you know you're in too deep? Just be brave and take my hand. We'll lead you to the promised land.
So your drummer, Matt Chamberlain, obviously a huge, major, rock star guy.
Yeah.
Played with so many great people: David Bowie, Bob Dylan, Macy Gray, to name just a few. So tell me a little bit about his contributions to your sound.
Basically, the song "I Am Your Country" is musically, it's probably 80%, maybe 90%. It's Matt. It's him playing the keyboards. It's him doing the drums. He had the entire song arranged. I just sang over it, and then Stone put some guitar, and Brittany sang a little bit, and that was like the quickest song we did because Matt had already done all the heavy lifting on it.
Many generations have left their spark inside your eyes. If you're looking for a miracle, take a look in the mirror and contemplate your life.
His versatility is amazing. He's just kind of like, he's got it all, really, and he's super nice.
That's a big plus right there.
Yeah,
Super nice. Always a good thing.
Yeah.
So Brittany Davis, keyboardist, and obviously contributes some really excellent vocals. How did she become involved with Painted Shield?
I met Brittany Davis through Om Jahari, and as I got to know her after seeing her and hearing her play with some of the folks that we were kind of connected with, we started making her record. And so she's in the process of making her own album right now. And because she's such a wonderful person, we're like, well, you should also play on this record too, because it would be really great. She's going to be our secret weapon. We'll probably play more as more like a 4-piece when we play, and there'll be a lot of opportunities for her to really like showcase how good she is. And I'm really looking forward to that because she's an assassin.
I love that. She's an assassin. That's such a great way to describe an artist. Well, you two, thank you so much for talking with me. Congratulations on the record, and I very much look forward to seeing Painted Shield live and in person somewhere in the vicinity of the Northwest, I hope.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
We're speculating about that right now, about when can we book a show, and we're still a little ways off, but hopefully soon.
We have a 800 square foot deck that's west facing here on the west side of Queen Anne. And
Nice.
if you feel that would work for you, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks a ton.
Really appreciate it.
Painted Shield's self-titled debut record drops Friday, November 27th on the Loosegroove Records label.